Here on ESPN 1000, the Bears will take on the Miami Dolphins. Should be an interesting matchup after the Bears come off the bye. We go to Jeff Fox, friend of the program from the Sports Brothers. Go to the website, thesportsbros.com, for the latest in South Florida sports. And Jeff joins us here on ESPN 1000, the ESPN app. What's going on, Fox?
Hey, Jay Hood, what's poppin', man? Just walked out of the movies in Miami, actually with the Miami Dolphins. And the 5,000 Role Models little group down here for inner city kids, man. We just saw the movie, The Hate That You, what's it called? The Hate You Give.
Yes,
movie.
So you have the sneak preview. I'm gonna have to go and pay for that when it comes out.
Yeah, well, you got a little bit of juice, with the team. So it was a nice event, man. Police officers were here as well, and it's kind of a community thing. The Dolphins try to bridge the gap, so to speak, between the inner cities and, of course, how we all deal with law enforcement. So I thought it was a pretty good thing, man. I totally enjoyed it. I had tears in my eyes, bro.
Oh, not you. Not you.
Yeah, man.
Not the G.
I just had tears. Top on the feet.
Not the G from South Florida. Not you, Fox. Not you. Oh, man. So, The Hate You Give. That movie's going to come out pretty soon here. So that's
excellent.
That's good. Let me get your thoughts here because the Dolphins started off so well, started off 3-0, and now they're 3-2. Can you identify the ebb and flow of the season for Miami?
Absolutely. We've seen this movie before. This team has gotten off to great starts before. I was actually at the last victory over my Oakland Raiders, and I remember walking off the field and the sheer joy, that the Dolphin fans have experienced that day, because they felt like finally they had a lot of big plays that day. Finally, Ryan Tannehill was beginning to show them something. And that this team had arrived. They exploded really in the fourth quarter of that game with some huge offensive plays, big plays to score. But that was the last time we saw it. And we've seen this before. They went on to lose the next two games against the Patriots and the Bengals. And offensively, they've only combined for 17 points in both of those games, the offense of the Dolphins. And, the primary culprit has been quarterback Ryan Tannehill. He's just simply been MIA. He's trending downwards. Dolphin fans are very, very infuriated at this guy, as they watch Drew Brees, a guy they could have had, become the NFL's all-time leading passer. The frustration level down here is tremendous. And you know what, Jonathan? It doesn't look like any relief in sight because here come the big bad Chicago Bears with that dominant defense led by Khalil Mack. And Miami really right now has a beat-up offensive line. And with Ryan Tannehill struggling, it doesn't look good for the home team.
Jeff Fox with us here on ESPN 1000 and the ESPN app. Again, go to thesportsbros.com. Check out the blogs and columns right there for that as part of the twolivestewsradio.com. I want to ask you about Adam Gase as head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He was the hot name. And many Bears fans thought that maybe he should be the head coach while John Fox was in place. How would you characterize Gase's job, what he's done with Miami?
I like Adam Gase. I know what his intention was to change the culture here in Miami. And remember, this was a much maligned franchise. Remember the bully gate and then the cocaine gate with the head coach who was doing all that other stuff. So it was a bad look for this franchise. They were kind of embarrassed with the way things were perceived around the National Football League when you look at the Miami Dolphins. But he tried to change the culture, and he got rid of some guys. He got rid of some locker room cancers. They did bring in Jay Cutler for the one-year experiment when Tannehill got hurt. I think the bottom line is that he needs a better quarterback. Ryan Tannehill is simply not the right guy. And Adam Gase, his play calling at times, again, the last time they really got wide open on offense was the Raider game. They seem conservative sometimes with Tannehill. They seem reluctant to take chances on offense. And then again, you have to look at the injury part of it as well. The offensive line is really, really beat up. And here comes the Bears defense. And, with a struggling offense, everyone's going to point the finger at the quarterback, but I think Adam Gase needs to win this game. Otherwise, this seat may get a little warm.
Well, where do you place Ryan Tannehill amongst some of the young quarterbacks out there? There's all this Patrick Mahomes love, and there's the Jimmy G when he was healthy love. So coming off the injury, so where's Tannehill amongst the best as far as young quarterbacks?
He's at the bottom tier. He's at the bottom tier. The numbers show it. I think right now, if you look at the numbers, the only guy that he's ahead of might be is it Josh Allen with the Bills? Yeah, I think it's Josh Allen with Buffalo. He's just not. He's not very accurate, and especially under pressure. When it comes to being quarterbacks being under pressure, he's the only guy he's ahead of, according to the stats. According to my friend Barry Jackson of the Miami Herald, the only guy he's ahead of is Josh Allen. I mean, under pressure, and if the Bears, which they are known for, forcing turnovers, for leading the league in fumbles, I do believe you guys are. And Ryan Tannehill, as he showed in the Bengals game, not very secure when it comes to holding on to the football and making mistakes when under pressure. This is going to be a huge test on Sunday. The one thing the Dolphins do have going for them is their defense has been, at times, one of the top teams when it comes to intercepting the football in the NFL. So I think this game is going to come down to turnovers. Who's going to commit them? You guys have a hot young quarterback in Trubisky. I mean, can't get no better than 6 TDs the last game. But, I don't know if that's an indictment on the Buccaneer defense. But he won't. I'm not looking for 6 TDs against these Dolphins. They got a definite superstar in cornerback, Xavier Howard, who has this uncanny ability to find the football. Xavier Howard, keep an eye on him, number 25, in the secondary for the Miami Dolphins. But if I had to do a prediction, Jay Hood, I'm just not confident in the Dolphin offensive line at all. I'm not confident in Ryan Tannehill's decision-making. And unfortunately for Dolphin fans down here, we've seen this before. We've seen this team get off to good starts. We think they're ready to get past the New England Patriots. They go up there for the big test, and they fall on their face 38-7. And then, of course, the Bengal game happens. The Dolphins need this game, but I don't see them winning it. I got the Bears 21-17.
I was trying to read your article that you wrote on 640 The Hurricane this morning about how Dolphin fans don't like Ryan Tannehill. I was trying to read the rest of it, but it was so on fire that it caught flames on the bottom of my computer, so I couldn't finish the last couple of graphs. But you took out a sledgehammer on the knees of Ryan Tannehill. You don't like him, and apparently Dolphin fans don't like him either.
They don't, and I tried to defend Tannehill at times. He's been through a couple of different offensive coordinators, but he's just not that natural leader as a quarterback. Young Patrick Mahomes, I get it, quarterbacks like that don't come along every day, but that kid's in the face of his offensive line. He's in the face of his teammates. He's trying to fire up guys. Dolphin fans don't see those type of things out of Ryan Tannehill. Even Jarvis Landry killed him when he left Miami, went to Cleveland. Miko Grimes, when Brent Grimes was here, Miko went off on Ryan Tannehill and his lack of ability as a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's basically a Walmart version of Alex Smith. That's what he is. He's just not very good.
Oh, wow.
His ceiling is Alex Smith's ceiling. Oh. And Miami needs a franchise quarterback in order for this team to turn around and maximize its potential. They're restricted with Ryan Tannehill as the quarterback. He's occasionally good, but he's never going to be great. And I get it. You don't have to be great to win a Super Bowl. I mean, Trent Dilfer proved that, But, again, it could be a long season for the Dolphins if they don't fix that offensive line. You've got to maximize protection on Ryan Tannehill. He needs a perfect pocket. If he's under pressure, you might see some turnovers. You might see some bad decisions. And unfortunately for the Miami Dolphins, as I wrote in my column, we haven't seen that type of play consistent. We haven't had a great signal caller since some number 13 guy drafted out of Pittsburgh, I think.
Dan Marino, yes. I think we know. Yes, I think we know who Dan is. Mr. Isotona Gloves, as we hear from Jeff Fox from the Sports Brothers. Again, go to thesportsbros.com. He's with us here on Under the Hood with Jonathan Hood on ESPN 1000 and the ESPN app. All right, lastly, another South Florida question for you. So, y'all getting Jimmy?
From what I hear from my friends, at the 5 Reasons podcast, you know, those guys are really in the know. My good buddy Ethan Skolnick. There are still talks going on with the Timberwolves, believe it or not. Like, this is not a done deal. It is. I mean, neither team has completely moved on from this, despite what the media might tell us. But Jimmy Butler, the way he erupted at Timberwolves practice yesterday, I would implore him, please, don't come to South Beach with that attitude. Pat Riley don't play that.
No.
I don't know if you saw the movie Goodfellas.
Yes.
Or The Untouchables. But does he have a culture down here? We've taken troubled players before and got the best out of them. I would love to see Jimmy Butler in Miami, to be quite honest with you. But I don't think he's a superstar, Jay Hood. I think he's a star, but I'm not sure he's as good as he thinks he is, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, Deion Waiters thinks he's the best guard in the Eastern Conference, and I love that.
That's true. He does think that. Yeah, you're right about that. That's true. Okay, what if I sold you with this? What if I told you? And again, this is what we're talking about here, because he's got one more year left on his original deal, and he's going to be a free agent because he thinks he's a big boat free agent, and he really isn't.
He really isn't.
He's not, but he believes he is, and that's what counts, man. You know, when I look in the mirror, I think I'm handsome. So as long as I believe it, I guess it's good enough. But
yeah. And the thing is, what happened at Timberwolves practice? I mean, the jokes that I had a ball with that, you know.
Yeah.
There's a video, some sort of meme they did with Denzel Washington blowing up. King Kong ain't got nothing on me, and they put Jimmy Butler's head on the video, and it was hilarious. You know, I don't know what's going on in Minnesota, but you can't do that down here in Miami.
Well, let me ask you this: if Jimmy Butler was on that team, on that Miami Heat team, would the Heat be a top 4 team in the East? Yes or no?
In the Eastern Conference right now, I would probably say yeah, since I know Eric Spoelstra as a head coach, and I know what he brings to the table, and I understand the Miami Heat culture, and I understand how they buy in to being one unit, one complete unit. I know the way they would play on the floor. Eric Spoelstra is such a great coach. I think he can get them to top 4 with Jimmy Butler. But I would give more of that to the culture of the team, the organization itself, and what they expect from their players, and how they all seem to buy in to the one culture, one team, one culture. I can see them being top 4, yes.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
A good job answering that.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, because he definitely has his eyes on South Florida, and we'll also keep our eyes on the Bears and the Miami Dolphins for this Sunday. As always, my friend, I'm glad you spent some time with us. Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely, at any time, man. You guys got rid of Chili Davis, man? What's going on up in the Windy City?
Somebody had to take the blame, I guess, huh?
Jonathan Hood.
I'm so hood.
On ESPN 1000.